Let's show you the difference between a Hannay and other reels. This is a full stainless setup here. Everything is stainless. The body, the drum, everything. Even the center 1 inch. This is a 1 inch fluid path. This is for the hose reel to supply our water. All stainless, okay? This is a 1 inch fluid path with a 3/4 natural pipe thread, okay? True bearings, sealed bearings, not friction blocks, nothing like that, okay? This brake here will go on here. We just have to put them on. Okay, I put brakes on all mine so we don't get the kickback and so forth. And if, you know, it doesn't free spin when you pull them off. We have a beautiful E-coated chain. How many other manufacturers use just regular black old bicycle chain in there? We have a super swivel here, massive, 1 inch, all stainless. And of course, we have the motor here. But this is the way I order my Hannays. And of course, then we have the roller rack that mounts to our framework. That's why they're $1,600. I mean, just a 1 inch fluid path, you're talking almost 350 bucks. But this is the best of the best. All right, like I said, full stainless steel, nothing E-coated. You have to watch out when you shop for these. A lot of times there'll be E-coated frames and aluminum barrels and so forth, but we're talking all stainless steel, sealed bearings, nothing but quality. Put this on your rig once, and you're gonna watch how we wire it up, and you don't have to worry about it again. This is the Hannay. It's built, and it's what we put on our rigs. Before we start wiring up the reel, the first thing we're gonna do is identify which wire is what. 90% of the time when Hannay sends it to you, they'll send you one with wires sticking out of it. That is the negative, and the positive is chopped off, but we wanna test it. So we're gonna take our Milwaukee battery here, our adapter, we're gonna tap it, and that's the way you want it to go. Just this way here, so it's pulling up. So we're gonna double check it, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put a little plus sign there. All right, this is the beginning of us wiring our Hannay reels. All right, now let's talk about wiring up. Now, wiring up our reels takes hours, okay? And complete detail we pay attention to when we're wiring these up. Because you don't wanna think about this. You don't wanna think about your reels. You wanna hit that button for them to work in the worst environments. So we're gonna think 10 steps ahead. Now, first we're gonna do, we're just gonna mount our relays right to these two holes. Thank goodness these two holes here are ready to tap. So what we do is we go ahead and we have a long tapping head here. This is 1/4 20, okay? We're gonna tap those with 1/4 20 so we can go ahead and put our little screws in, our stainless steel screws like this, and hold it. So first we're gonna tap it. Before you tap anything or drill anything, you gotta have some tapping fluid or cutting fluid. Never put oil on a drill bit, never put oil on a tapping head. You don't want it to be lubricated, you want it to actually bite into the metal. You don't want to lubricate a drill bit. So this tapping oil here, you can get anywhere. You go to Home Depot in the plumbing section, it's called cutting oil, okay? So let's go ahead and we got our drill here. We don't have it on fast. Okay? We need a long one to get by this here, okay? So I'm gonna pull it all the way to the edge almost. We're gonna slowly just stick it in and tap it. That's it. Back it off real slow. And we're gonna go ahead and do this one here. Perfect. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and take our bit here. We're gonna stick it in here. And we're gonna go ahead and just run that there. I'm gonna take this here. Perfect. We're not gonna tighten it because we're gonna use this to mock it up, and I'm gonna show you why we're not gonna tighten it up later, okay? But that's just the start. All right, now, this is the switch. This is 18 gauge, 2-wire. If you see here, we solder these. These are crimped and soldered, and then we bend them. Then we have the heat shrink tube here. So what we have here is potting compound. This is special for electrical. We're just gonna put a little bit here on here to start it. So it's sealed up. All right, see that? There's gonna be no water in there, no nothing. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slip this over the top. Like this. Ooh, that's a little warm. And then we're just gonna go ahead and shoot some in there like that. That's gonna totally seal this up. Totally. Ooh, it's a burner. And then we're gonna go ahead and do it from here. Take our torch. Now look at that. See our potted compounds coming out here. It's coming out here. This is totally sealed now. All right, most switches don't go bad from here. They usually you always have a wiring problem here because of all the, all the nasty chemicals we spill. But this here is like marine grade. This here is totally sealed. Give that a little wipe. All right. We're going to go on to the next connection now. All right, now, this is the sexy part. This here is a company called Sply Seal, okay? Awesome. High quality. These are aluminum extruded pucks. This is how we're going to make the nice, fancy, totally sealed ends on here, okay? We're going to spray this with a little bit of motor releaser, a few little spritz. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and put this wire in here just like this. All right, can you see that? Then we're going to go ahead and put this on here. A little tricky sometimes. Okay, so it's totally locked up like this. We go ahead and put our clamp on it. All right. Then we're going to take our injectable compound. Let me clean the tip off a little bit. We're going to spray it in there, squeeze it in there till you see it comes out. Okay. Take this off here. Take this off. And little snippers. Pop that open. Look at that. Look at that, Daddy. Perfectly sealed. Cool down for a second. Give it a little wiggle. I should have sprayed some more stuff in there. We're gonna take our little snippers. Look at that. Look at that finish here. I mean, that is beautiful. It gives a lot of rigidity to here. Makes a beautiful little seal. Let's go on to the next one here. Okay? Real simple. Make sure I get it into the mold this time. And make sure we're hot here. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and place it in the mold. Force it in there like this. It helps it a lot. Go ahead and darn it. Put it like here. Give this a squeeze. Go ahead and inject it. See it's starting to squeeze out. We know we're good. I mean, you can take apart this quickly. I mean, it's real nice stuff. So I put a lot of that spray removal stuff in here, and it just popped out. Let that cool down, but I mean, look at that. Now, we also, if you notice, I put a little heat shrink tube here and the potting mix. So the wires coming out of here are totally sealed up as well. See these here? Totally sealed up as well. Beautiful little piece. Now it's getting a little harder. We take our little micro cutters, give it a snip, but I mean, come on guys, look how beautiful that is. It takes a little bit of time. It takes me about an hour or so to do each one, but you know what? This is the type of work you want on your rig. This is the type of care, and so if you want, I mean, look at that, it's a beautiful connection. All right, guys, go on to the next step now. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wire up our motor here. First thing I do is put heat shrink tubing over this, right? So we're gonna go ahead and the reason why I do this is you're gonna see here, we wanna protect it from really rubbing on this body here, okay? So we'll let that sit for a second. We're gonna actually ground this to the frame. We're gonna ground it to this screw right here. All right, so remember, this is our grounded one, the one with the exposed. The non-exposed was the positive. So we're gonna go ahead and just figure this here. And we're gonna go ahead and cut this off. We'll go ahead and trim this. And we're gonna come back and we're gonna put our connectors on, okay? All right, now we put our bracket on here. See this, so it's nice and sturdy. We already did one connector here, okay? Get all my little snips and snip this off. This is 10 gauge wire, so we have a whole nother die here. Little spray here, little spray there. Now you gotta put this in like this. Okay. Hold this in. Oops, got upside down. Good, go ahead and put this in here like this. Come on now. All right. So it's nice and snug. Gonna put our clamp on. Go ahead and inject our stuff in here. Oh, see it pop out? We're good to go. Now you gotta remember, the way the switch is wired up is it just makes these two contacts. So you're taking this small pole here, and then you connect it to this positive here. When you do that, it energizes relay and it sends power there. So what we wanna do, take this off. And look how nice that popped off. Come on, look at this. I mean, look at that connection. I mean, that's nice. Look at this stuff. So, what this is going to do here is just loosen this up a little bit. Now, this is going to go on here. This is going to go to ground, which is here. Okay, this is going to go here. All right, our switch is going to come in here like this. Okay. Our switch comes around the back, connects to the large terminal here, and the small terminal there. See, when you hit the switch, it takes power from here, because this is where it's going to go into our vehicle, okay? It takes power from here, energizes across these two, which jumps the contact, and then feeds our motor. All right, so basically, that's how it works. I know we got one more step to go. Actually, two more steps, and then we'll be done. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to seal these connectors the best we can. We can't do this one right now because that's where we gotta connect our power to. But we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of the compound here. Let it ooze down. We're gonna try to cover it as best we can. Now you might be saying, well, what happens if we gotta take this apart again? You hit it with a little torch, it'll come off, this stuff. But I'd rather seal it up now. It's totally sealed there. Totally sealed there. Now, you see these wires that go into this electric motor. These really don't seal that well, and sometimes they pop out. So we're going to give a little dollop here. I know it doesn't look that clean, but I rather work. A little dollop there. like I said, this is like the leading cause of motor failure, is water getting in here. And like I said, these little connectors, water will get in. And here's little inspection caps or so forth. We're just gonna put a little dollop, because they do come out. Put a little piece here. Little there. And there. There you go. So this is totally sealed up now. This is sealed. This is sealed. Now see how long this takes, but you know what? Do it right the first time. And you don't have to go back to it. Like I said, this here, these little, where these go in, they're not totally watertight, and that's the leading cause of failure of these motors. When I take them apart, you can see how the water has gotten there and started corroding inside in this motor here. So this is a weak point. Has nothing to do with Hannay, but that could be that needs to be addressed, and we just did it. All right, guys. So here it is. I mean, this is out of the way. You got your nice push button here. Comes around. Everything's sealed. These beautiful connectors. We got this attached here, so it's not going to rub against anything. It's very stiff. Now the sticker says here, do not ground. Ground is not guaranteed if you ground it against the body of this. That is true. The stainless steel ones, you don't have to worry about corroding as much, but we're also, when we apply our ground to this, where we build our brackets, we apply another ground to that as well. So we ground it here, and then where this bolts to our structure, we ground that again, and you'll see that in later videos. But yeah, look how long it took, but it's done the right way. You have to worry about spraying. You don't have to come back and fix it. And yeah, that's it. All right, guys, I hope you liked the video. Let's go over this again. The best of the best we started off with, right? Full stainless steel, full steel bearings, everything stainless. From the manifold, everything to frame. Then we go ahead, put our switch in, beautiful wiring. We put all this together. I mean, look at this. This is just, I mean, we're not going to have to worry about this. Later on, we'll try to get our best in here when we hook up electrical wires. But, I mean, look at these connectors. Come over to here. This is all sealed up. It's all fastened. Got the heat shrink, makes it real rigid. We're going to test it here. Make sure it's turned the right direction. Everything works great. Got the super swivel here. I mean, you're not going to get any better than this. Spend the money the first time. Get the best product you can. And just keep on spraying.